Everybody, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Bob, can you do a roll call?
Mayor Roman,
Here.
Mr. Bull. Here. Mr. Costi. Absent. Mr. Powers. Mr. Percival.
Here.
Chief Murray.
Here.
Okay, the swearing in. Can I have the three candidates up in the front, please?
Left hand on the Bible, right hand up. Then we look this way. Don't look this way.
It was like a little circle. Ready?
Yep. Revenge.
Repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I'm Nick Capobianco.
I'm Michelle Scriback.
I, Sarah Haynes,
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Pennsylvania
of the state of Pennsylvania,
of the state of Pennsylvania,
of the state of Pennsylvania,
and all local ordinances
and all local ordinances.
and all local ordinances.
and all local ordinances.
I will faithfully and impartially
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 perform and discharge
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of council
the duties of council
the duties of council
the duties of council
according to the law and the best of my ability.
according to the law and the best of my ability.
according to the law and the best of my ability.
according to the law and the best of my ability.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. It'll take a second.
Okay, I'm opening up nominations for council president.
I'd like to nominate Shirley Percival as council president.
Second.
Okay, are there any more nominations?
Make a
Okay,
motion to close nominations.
Second.
okay, so Shirley for council president, Mr. Powers?
Yes.
Mr. Costa is not here. Mr. Bull?
Yes.
Mrs. Percival?
Yes. Think about that.
Mr. Capabianco?
Yes.
Ms. Haynes?
Yes.
And, yes. Okay, so.
Take your seat, Shirley.
You had it, Miss Shirley. Pass it around. You're running too fast. I had that One more second.
Take it down.
Can you throw it?
You gonna throw it over?
I should. Okay. Now I'm opening up nominations for vice president.
Dominic Capabianco.
Okay, any more nominations?
Second.
Okay,
Make a motion to close nominations.
okay, roll call. Mr. Powers for
Yes.
Nick. Okay. Mr. Bull?
Yes.
Mrs. Percival?
Yes.
Mr. Capabianco?
Yep.
Mrs. Haynes?
Yes.
Mrs. Strobeck?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, Nick.
Thank you so much. Good job. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
We have everybody seated. Thank you, everyone. We have some new business that we're going to start with, the appointments of the borough officials and committees. The first name is the chairperson that I will announce. A copy will be sent to everyone. Also, if I mispronounce a name, please forgive me early. The committee assignments and appointments for 2024-2025. Public safety, Mr. Capabianco, Mr. Costa, Mrs. Strobeck. Ordinance and grants. We're going to start a new committee in conjunction with ordinances. That way, we're looking for any free money that's out there ahead of when it's been announced. Mrs. Strobeck, Mr. Capabianco, Mrs. Hayes. Public Works, Mr. Powers, Mr. Bull, Mrs. Hayes. Finance, Mr. Bull, Mr. Capabianco, Mrs. Strobeck. Licensing inspections, Mr. Capabianco, Mr. Costigan, Mrs. Hayes. Recycling MS4, Mr. Costigan, Mrs. Strobeck, Mr. Powers. Open space, Mr. Bull, Mr. Powers, Mrs. Hayes. Communication, Mrs. Hayes, Mr. Costigan, Mr. Powers. Recreation, Mayor Roman, Mr. Capabianco, Mr. Bull. Junior Fire Company liaisons, Mr. Bull and Mr. Costigan. Junior council members will be a committee in itself. Mr. Costigan, Mrs. Strobeck, and Mr. Bull. Chair Pro Temp, Doug Bull. Secretary, Robert Platt. Treasurer, Brinker Simpson. Engineer, Catania Engineering. Solicitor, John J. Wills. Mr. Wills may be seated. Health Officer, Delaware County Board of Health, Dr. R. Kroll also. Building Inspector, Floodplain Administrator, Zoning Officer, Joseph Ferguson. Auditor, Lenzel and Ecodemus. Insurance Broker, A.J. Gallagher. Plumbing Inspector, Harry Kent. Electrical Inspector, James Skolsky. Code and Safety Officer, Nick Capabianco. Interim Emergency Management and Fire Marshal, Daniel Smith. Roadmaster, Ryan Cornott. Civil Service and Zoning Solicitor, Robert O'Connor. Webmaster, Theo McCleary. Computer IT, Steve, Jean, and Christoporo. Vacancy Board, Allison Jenkis. I hope Allison's here, so thank you. We will have our secretary send everybody that information. At this time, council has resolutions to be passed as housekeeping. We will keep business moving tonight. Council has before them Resolution 1867. Whereas Borough Council of the Borough of Parkside, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in due session assembled, did agree and resolve to designate the Sharon Bank, TD Bank as depositories for the borough's checking account, and Pennsylvania Local Government and Trust Investment Trust as a depository for the borough savings account. I'll entertain a motion to pass Resolution 1867.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. We have Resolution 1868, whereas Borough Council of the Borough of Parkside, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in due session assembled, did agree and resolve to designate Prime Pay to handle the borough's payroll. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor? We also have Resolution 1869, whereas the Borough Council of the Borough of Parkside, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in due session assembled, did agree and resolve to designate Robert J. Platt, Borough Secretary, as Assistant Tax Collector. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? At this time, I'll entertain a motion to discharge Special Counsel Person Michael Schley.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. Mr. Secretary, I would ask that we send Mr. Schley a letter. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to expand the Borough Secretary's hours to 2:30 p.m. every day.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? So moved. I'll entertain a motion to compensate the webmaster for videoing $50 per meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? So moved. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody for attending this evening, and I am sure that we're all grateful to be here to congratulate and welcome our new members. I have a few comments and some projects and suggestions for the new year, and I'll try to be brief because I've been asked to be. There have been some changes to the Sunshine Act, and I would ask Mr. Wills if you would please send these changes to our new council members.
Yes, sir.
We will have our newsletter hand-delivered, hopefully by the end of March. Mrs. Haynes, if you would please meet with your committee, and I would suggest that maybe the first article in the newsletter should be our reorganization and our new members.
Yes, Madam President.
If anybody has any suggestions for the newsletter, would you please get them to Mrs. Haynes? Also, Theo may be missing some of our video meetings. If you can get with him to learn how to run the equipment, I'd appreciate that. Numerous residents have voiced concerns that we don't have speed bumps down on our street because of the traffic issues. Mr. Powers, I know this has been a budgeted item. If you would please come up with some prices so we can get these speed bumps down for the late spring.
Yes, Madam President.
Several suggestions have been made for ordinances that were not implemented. One of my favorites has been a reduction in permit fees for seniors, veterans, and/or disabled. We would ask that the chairperson of ordinances, if you could look into that, Mrs. Groback. And if anybody on council has any suggestions for amending any of the ordinances, if we could get that to her. I will contact Mr. Costigan, who is unable to be here this evening. Many of the residents would like to see an e-recycling event this year. So we will try to get some prices to get that done also. I would ask the secretary if you would please look into some pricing for a rental on postage meter with a scale. Also, I would like to publicly thank Mike Daly for being our interim fire marshal and Miss Brenda Rowland for being our interim co-compliance person. Your services have been greatly appreciated. Lastly, I would like to remind council that we have a regular meeting January 17th. If you have anything for the agenda, please get it to the secretary by Friday, January 12th. Because Monday, January 15th is Martin Luther King Day, and our secretary is off that day.
Yes, he is.
And you may have off.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. For our new members, please see the secretary. He has keys to the office for you.
Did it already.
They've already, see how efficient we are? And Mr. Secretary, if you would stay for a few minutes, I have some paperwork for you.
They already have me over.
Thank you. Does any new member have anything else to say? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
They said we would be quick tonight, so thank you so much for coming.